It's on.
I now call the meeting of the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Welcome to Hillsborough County Code Enforcement Special Magistrate hearing. When addressing the Special Magistrate, please state your name, your address, and speak clearly into the microphone. If you are planning to speak during this hearing, you must sign the speakers list located at the front door for the record. Presentations by the county, respondents, and opposition must be kept to a maximum of 10 minutes each. The Special Magistrate may recess at 12:30 and reconvene at 1:30 should that be necessary to conclude business. The basic process for this hearing is as follows. Your case will be announced. Ms. Rodriguez will conduct the oath of witness. Staff will present their evidence on your case. You will be allowed to rebut that evidence and explain what has occurred. I will close the hearing and announce the decision. All decisions are based on the gravity of the violation, the actions taken by the violator, and violator's history. I may ask questions and allow other witness testimony if that is necessary. If I issue an order for compliance, it is your responsibility to notify the code enforcement officer on or before the date ordered to demonstrate that the violation has been cured. Depending on my order, the code enforcement staff may later have to conduct an inspection to see if you have complied with the order. If the staff believes you have not complied, you will receive notice in the mail. By law, you have 10 days to contest that notice, otherwise it will be considered correct and a lien may be filed against your property. If you have any questions about these rules, they're outlined in Hillsborough County Codes of Ordinances and Laws, Chapter 14, Article 2, Section 14. Any person who decides to appeal a decision of the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate will need a record of the proceedings. The record is comprised of the testimony and evidence upon which an appeal is based. It is your responsibility to ensure that a verbatim record of the proceedings is made. By law, you have 30 days from the date of the order to appeal the Special Magistrate's decision in Circuit Court. And before we begin, please silence all electronic devices and phones.
All county staff, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You may be seated.
First case.
First case is on page 2, item 3, case number CE 220111865, Stephen Lang. The location is 10004 Kenda Drive, and we have service. And someone is present. Good morning. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
And please state your name and address for the record.
Stephen Lang, 10,004 Canada Drive, Riverview, Florida, 33578.
Okay, recognize the photo. Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Officer Zalva.
Good morning. Jason Zalva, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. On September 22nd, 2022, Code Enforcement had a report at 1004 Kenda Drive of violation of inoperable vehicles and accumulations. The officer left a door hanger and then returned on 10/13, found the violations remained, and requested a 15-day notice of violation. On 11/2/2022, Code Enforcement arrived and gave an extension for the violations to be corrected. On 11/21, the violations were still present. At that point, no progress was made. On 12/12/2022, is referred for a hearing. On 1/17, I arrived and noticed the violations remained of the inoperable vehicle and the accumulations in the driveway. On 3/29, where these pictures were taken, the inoperable vehicle, the only thing remaining was a jet ski with a missing wheel, but the accumulations remained. It should be noted that I had been to this property back in 2019, September 2019, for a previous case of inoperable vehicles and outside open storage. Last week, Mr. Lang called me to advise me the violations have been corrected, but admit the wheel had not been put on the vehicle yet. I advised him at this point it would still go to hearing, and he could address his case then.
Mr. Lang?
Yes, it's, I registered it not realizing that I had to put the wheels and everything on the jet ski. I'm getting it repaired, taking forever. I fixed it. I mean, I got it registered. I put wheels on it, put it in my backyard, and I removed all the debris, not realizing that it had to be all fixed and moved and not sitting there like that. So I got rid of it all.
Okay, so everything's cured, sir?
I have pictures.
Okay, so that, what we're gonna do is set a time, and then within that time, the officer has to come out and,
I have
And
pictures
everything.
of either way, yeah.
yeah, you can submit we have to keep them for the record, but we still have to go through this. All right, I'm moving case CE 2200116865, that based on the evidence identifying the properties in violation of Hillsborough County Court's test presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation and about its history, I grant 7 days to come to compliance, and compliance with chief by date, a fine of $50 per day be assessed. 7 days, $50. So within that time, sir, have him come out, take a look at, and this will go away.
As long as it's done, as we speak, it's done, so I won't be assessed, correct?
You won't be assessed, but he has to come out, and
Okay.
if you want to get his contact information and.
No,
make sure he
I
comes out.
we got call, it was a
Okay.
big mix-up. I didn't realize the depth of all this.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good?
Next case.
Can I go? Good, so I'll just hear from you. You got my phone number? You got my picture?
Next case is on page 4, item 7, case number CE 220131187, Richard K. Meek II and Amy Meek. The location is 2317 North Merrily Circle. We have service and we have present.
Yes,
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And your name and address, please.
Amy Meek, 2317 Merrily Circle, North Sefner, Florida, 33584.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Officer Jones.
Yes, sir. Officer Dave Jones, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. Case is CE 22013187. Owner Richard and Amy Meek, 2317 North Merrily Circle, Sefner, Florida, 33578. This case was opened on November 3rd, 2022. The remaining violations were accumulations, inoperable vehicles, outside open storage, RV and utility trailer not meeting setback, excuse me, RV and utility trailer exceeds allowable number, and overgrowth. The previous officer, per his notes, did not come in contact that I know of.
He did not.
Yeah, so when I took over the case, I was unable to come in contact with them. And then my last inspection was March 28th, 2023, where these photos were taken.
Okay. Ms. Meek, how long will it take for you to clear up these violations?
Really need to know what needs to be done. I'm not sure when you took over, but we were told that truck, because it's being restored, it doesn't have a license plate. It's an antique, that it is inoperable and it doesn't need a license plate. So I guess I need to know at this point in time what actually needs to be done.
If it's something that you're going to restore, if you can put it in the garage and restore it, that's one thing you can do without putting a license plate on there.
Not to cut you, it was inherited, and I guess we're having to go through because my father-in-law owned that truck and it never was registered in his name. So now we're having to go through that rigmarole to get,
Okay.
I don't know, the title and lien and all that other stuff against it. So I don't know how long that will take.
Understandable, but yet, like I said, if you can store it in the garage
Okay.
or find another place to store it, that would comply that violation.
Okay, what else?
And what about the accumulations, the overgrowth, outside open storage, and the recreational utility vehicles exceed the allowable number?
What's the allowable number?
The RV, you have a RV and you have a boat. You can only have one in the,
Magistrate,
Yes, sir.
David Kanzler, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. They can meet after the hearing.
Okay.
He can give the contact information. He can go over everything with her after the hearing.
Okay.
All right.
I think you've been actually much easier to get a hold of than the first gentleman.
that's what I do.
All right. All right, I'm ready to make a ruling. I move in case CE 22013-187, that based on the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Illinois County from staff's presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation, about its history. It's a two-part motion. The first one regarding the inoperative vehicles, I grant 180 days to come to compliance.
Okay.
If compliance is not achieved by date, a fine of $20 per day be assessed. The rest, since this is a neighborhood, I'm going to grant 60 days to come to compliance. If compliance is not achieved by date, a fine of $25 per day be assessed.
All right.
So it's 60 days for all except for the inoperative vehicles. I'm doing that because if it's in probate, it's going to take some
All
time
right, thank
to
you.
give you some. And then you've got his contact information,
I'm not, okay.
Just make sure you have it, because
Awesome,
after that 60-day, the fines are going to start.
Okay.
So if you get it done within that, this goes away. Okay.
thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next case.
Next case is item number 8, case number CE 220138820. The estate of Gail Hinckley, location 712 Westbrook Avenue, and we have someone present virtually, Candace White. Good morning. Please raise your right hand. Can you hear me? Yeah, raise your right. Do you swear or affirm? Where'd you go? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? We can't hear you. Is your mic on? Is she silent? We can't hear you. We have to hear you give the testimony. It looks like your mic is muted.
Is there a way we can contact her by phone? Is that possible?
Does she have a phone number? We're probably going to have to move on. if we-
Ma'am, what we're going to do is we need your testimony, so we're going to try to establish contact with you, and that's her phone number. Can we do that? Can we call her? It looks like it's 81.
She still has to be on the record.
Okay, ma'am, you're going to have to be on the record, so if there's, we'll try to contact you, and we'll just hold off on this case and move to another case and come back to you, okay? Because I want you to be able to respond. I mean, it's not due process for you not.
Okay, the next case is on page 5, item 9, case number CE 220135542, Michael A. Little, Connie G. Little, and Daniel I. Little. The location is 1009 Leanne Place. We have service and someone is present. Sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Your name and address, please.
Michael Lytle, 1009 Leanne Place, Seffner, Florida, 33584.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Officer Sweeney.
Dennis Sweeney, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. The case started on November 10th, 2022. Property is with a mobile home. It's owner occupied. There's no foreclosure on the property. Property is zoned RSC 6. The officer at the time done a sweep in that community and found several properties in violation. This one happened to have several issues with fence maintenance, handrail issues on the steps, exterior light fixtures, exterior walls, protected treatment for exterior walls, roofs, and parts thereof. stairs and porches and apparatuses. There was several visits by different officers during this process. Uh, On April 4th, I met Mr. Lytle on site and advised of the issues that need to be corrected. And Mr. Lytle explained to me some of his concerns, health issues and such. But unfortunately, we're here today because of failure to comply these conditions on his mobile home.
Officer Sweeney, is this mobile home occupied?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right, Mr. Lytle, how long will it take to clear up these violations?
Hopefully not any more than 3 more weeks. I just don't, I have to do the work myself. I'm not employed. I realized that I got the notice back in November, but as I kept telling every code enforcement officer that I spoke with, that I wasn't going to be able to afford to purchase anything to fix this until I got my tax return, which was only 2 weeks ago. But since then, the front porch has been repaired. The lighting fixture on the front porch has been repaired. The fascia in the front has been repaired, and I started patching some of the siding in the front as well. The fencing is something that just needs to be knocked down. I'm not rebuilding the fence, and I'm not rebuilding the back porch. I don't know who I spoke with originally. The first officer I spoke with, he advised me that if I didn't rebuild the back porch, to put some steps outside the front door. I think you said something about the same thing.
Same thing.
As well. I just don't know. There's questions that I just don't know how much of my back porch do I have to tear it down to the ground? Or, but nonetheless, I mean, I don't want to occupy any more of your time.
Just for clarification, you need to remove all of the back porch and all of the items from that porch to
Okay.
the dump.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I do have a little bit of help. My son, because of, my health issues, my back, that's why I'm unemployed now. My knees, my back can't do the work that I used to do. He's volunteered to help me. Like he said, the way he put it, if you need any mule work done, just give me a holler. So
Okay.
stuff like what you're looking at right there. And because of my knees, I can't be on a ladder very long. I can do the fascia like I did the front, and what you see right there, I can do that. But it's the sides of the house where it's
Okay.
much higher. I'm going to have to get
Right.
somebody to help me do that.
For how much time do you think?
I would think no more than 30 days, and I can get this done. I just have
Okay.
to be able to chip away at it.
Okay. All right, I'm ready to make a motion. I'm ruling case number CE 22013542 that based on the evidence presented found the property in violation of Hillsborough County Court's test presentation, further based on the gravity of violence history. It's a two-part motion. For item number R11-7-4, Rooston, and parts thereof, I grant 180 days to comply. Compliance to chief date fine of $25 per day. For the rest of the items, I'm going to grant 60 days to come to compliance. Compliance chief by date, a fine of $20 per day be assessed. So it's a two-part motion, sir. That I know the roof is sometimes more difficult. What you mentioned, the 180 days should help. The rest of the items, you've got 60 days.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
within that time frame, please call him. He needs to come out and inspect it. If everything is good, it's cleared, it goes away. If not, the violations start. Okay, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next case, please.
We want to try this other one again.
Okay. Ma'am, can you hear us okay now?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I have to give you the oath so I can hear what you said. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And please state your name and address for the record.
Candace White, 712 Westbrook Avenue, Brandon.
Can you raise your volume?
Maybe I could talk louder. Is that better?
Yeah, that's
That's
good.
perfect.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay. Do I need to repeat my address? Is that what you need?
Your name and address for the record, yes.
Okay, sure. It's Candace White, 712 Westbrook Avenue in Brandon.
And do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Good morning, Officer
Officer
Dave
Jones.
Jones, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. Case is CE 22013820. Owner is the estate of Gail Hinckley. It is zoned RSC 6. Address is 712 Westbrook Avenue, Brandon, Florida, 33511. My first inspection was on November 11th, 2022 for commercial vehicles. I did come in contact with the tenant. My last inspection was on March 28th, 2023, where I still found the same commercial vehicle violation, and that's where I got the pictures for the hearing today.
So there's a red bus. There's also the trailer was on a previous.
No, that's the property. No, that's the property next door.
Okay, so the red bus is not part of it.
The red bus is the only part of it.
That's commercial. This one right there. Okay, okay. All right, ma'am, how long will it take for you to move the bus?
So I am not done paying for it. So I don't have a tag or a title yet. The previous owner still has that. And I actually don't think he has the tag anymore. So I'm probably have maybe like 5 or 6 more months and I'll have it paid off and then I can tag and title it and move it. I could also try moving it into the backyard, but I don't know if that's feasible or.
No, would not.
Well, the problem, it's in a neighborhood. It's also, you can see it's blocking the sidewalk too. So,
So if it wasn't blocking the sidewalk, then I
well, it looks
could-
like it, the front of it looks like it's blocking part of the sidewalk right there.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
That's a
saying.
commercial
So
vehicle.
if it wasn't blocking the sidewalk, then I could keep it. Cause I mean, I can back it up some more or possibly even, situate the fence back, but.
No, it's going to have to be moved. It's going to have to be moved in a shorter time frame.
Okay, so is putting it in the back feasible or?
No,
No,
no, that's, you move to another, either storage lot or somewhere else. It can't be in the front yard or the backyard or anywhere on the property. This is a commercial vehicle.
and if it's an RV, it's still a commercial vehicle and not allowed?
An RV would be a recreational vehicle. They're two different
Dave-
things.
David Kanzler, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. If it's been converted to an RV and registered with the state, with your license plate, your registration as an RV, it would be an RV, but it's too big to be on the property is the problem. And even in the back, it still has to meet the setbacks from the side and the rear property, or a 5-foot setback from the rear and a 5-foot setback from the side property line. It's not allowed in the front yard at all. The yards aren't big enough over on your street.
But if I
But
met the setbacks in the backyard, I could put it back there?
You could, but it has to be registered and tagged also.
Oh, okay, in order to even put it.
It's
in the back.
inoperable if it's not registered and tagged. But on top of that, it has to be registered as an RV.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so let me pose another scenario to you because I'm trying to work on the bus, right? And I found out that it's pretty easy to get it titled as an RV. I pretty much already meet that right now with what's done. If the owner of it right now was willing to give me the tag for it and register it as an RV and I met the setbacks, could I put it in the backyard?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So what timeline am I working with this?
County, what would you support? 30? Okay. All right. I'm ready to make a motion. I move in case CE 22013820, that based on the presented found the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Court's trespass presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the action of history, I grant 30 days to come to compliance. If compliant with that cheap by date, a fine of $15 per day be assessed. So within a 30-day time frame, it's got a, I mean, right now it's blocking the sidewalk. That's a problem. That's a problem if somebody would get hurt. So that needs to be corrected immediately. But you've got 30 days to get either title it and it meets the setback or it's off the property. If it's off the property, this goes away. But you have 30 days. Once the 30 days up, the fine starts. And within that time frame, you need to have him come out and take a look to make sure that it is in compliance, and then this goes away.
Okay.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
Great. Thank you. Next case.
Next case is on page 5, item 10, case number CE 220138887. MHC The Meadows at Countrywood LLC. Location is 527 Peninsula Key. We have service and someone is present. Please, you're an attorney, right?
Yes.
Okay. Please just state your name and address for the record.
Ashlyn Banks, appearing on behalf of MHC, The Meadows at Countrywood LLC. The violation address is 527 Peninsula Key in Plant City, zip code 33565.
And do you recognize that photo as the property?
The issue was a seawall. It was not a living structure. Yes, that would be correct.
Thank you.
Officer Sweeney.
Dennis Sweeney, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. The county received some complaints from this mobile home park concerning seawalls at various areas. An inspection was made and the seawall located behind 527 Peninsula Key found erosion of the ground soil at the location, which in return caused a nuisance condition for the residents at that location. The property is owned by a company out of state. However, I had spoken with management at this location and advised of the issues and the complaints. I hand-delivered a notice to the manager, Claudia, at such location. The company or the mobile home park hired a contractor to start the work, and upon my site visit on April 4th to get updated photos, or April 3rd to get photos, I found the work had commenced and started. And speaking with the contractor, they stated that it would take a little bit longer than this board meeting to be completed. So I told the contractor that just in case of a hiccup, because the mobile home park is dealing with a private contractor, that if they didn't show up, the mobile home park, representatives didn't show up, I would recommend a 30-day time frame just in case of a hiccup. But according to what I've been informed about, the only thing they're waiting on now is the backfill of the soil to the seawall.
Okay. Counselor, do you have anything to add?
Just for some context as well, the company does take the safety of the residents very seriously. They had started the process of seeking to have this seawall and others repaired prior to receiving the code violation. The contract to repair all of the seawalls was signed in January. I am told that this specific seawall will be completed on April 21st, just next week, but we also would agree and ask for the 30 days.
Okay, and Officer Sweeney, just for clarification, is there anything around there to prevent people from, is it a hazard right now, the way, have they put barricades or something around to prevent people from?
I have a photo of the state of the seawall
Okay.
now.
Can you enter that in the record?
Certainly.
But we'll keep that. Can I see it too? Okay, I'm ready to make a ruling. Moving CE 22013887, that based on the evidence identified the property is in violation of Philly County Court's test presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation, of history, I grant 30 days to come to compliance. Compliance not achieved by date, a fine of $100 per day be assessed. 30
Thank
days,
you.
$100. Within that time, please, that your client needs to contact him. They need to come out. This will go away. Otherwise, the
Certainly.
fines could start and they could place a lien on the property. All
Certainly.
right,
Thank you.
Next case is on page 6, item 12, case number CE 220-14515, Grandview Estates Mobile Home Park LLC. Location is 5202 Canisby Court. We have service and someone is present.
Good morning.
Good morning. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And please state your name and address for the record.
Chad Cummingore, 1971 West Lumsden, Suite 360, Brandon, 33511.
What is your relationship to this case?
I am a property manager, operations manager for the property.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Officer Sweeney.
Dennis Sweeney, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case came to us on December 8th, 2022. The tenant of the mobile home filed a complaint about issues with the mobile home. I was assigned this case just recently. Information that I have is the several issues, heating facilities, exterior light fixtures, receptacles, screens, decorative features, windows and exterior doors, infestation of interior space, interior floors and walls, interior surfaces, and doors. A site visit was made by another officer on December 9th, 2022. The officer was unable to gain access at that time. He made another site visit on December 15th, in which he got consent by the tenant to enter the dwelling, take photos. The tenant stated that the maintenance crew could not correct the heating facilities, the heating furnace in this mobile home. And then there was, according to notes by the prior officer, there were issues where the tenant adult was unavailable and the maintenance crew could not actually gain access due to minors in the home. And so the mobile home park, according to them, were having problems gaining access from that point on. I called the tenant to try to get access. The tenant told me they would call me back and never called me back. I talked to the mobile home park and found out that they were having issues the same way, not gaining access to the unit to do repairs. And this is why we're here today.
Is there any update?
We're going to issue a notice to vacate to the tenant. She's out of lease at this point. He is correct. We have repaired a lot of the outside stuff, but the inside stuff, we've not been able to get any access because either that she's not home or it's just minor children at home. And now they have an unauthorized pit bull. So we're issuing a notice to vacate today.
Okay, how long does that typically take from your experience?
The experience I've had on evictions is it's a slow process. Normally, it should take 30 days. Unfortunately, we're at the mercy of the courts. We're at the mercy of the individuals making the process, filing for it. It's a roll of the dice at this point as far as eviction goes.
The notice to vacate is going to be for 15 days. So if she cooperates, and we could probably have everything done in a day after she moves out. If she doesn't cooperate and we have to file an eviction, it could be 2 months.
All right. In other words, I'm making this motion is based on what has been going on and what you've been trying to do. I move in case CE 22014515 that based on the evidence identifying the properties in violation of Hillsborough County Court's test presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation and the violence history. I grant 90 days to come to compliance. If compliance is achieved by a date, a fine of $200 per day be assessed. 90 days, $200 per day, with the caveat that if she does vacate, this should be handled immediately.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Okay. You've got his contact information.
Yes.
All right. Next case.
Thank you.
Next case is on page 7, item 15, case number CE 220133811, Cherie Dupree Hess and the estate of Johnny Bryant Dupree. Location is 10312 Oak Avenue. We have service and someone is present. Ma'am, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Cherie Dupree, 10324 Oak Avenue, Tampa, Florida, 33619.
Thank you. Give us just a moment for the picture to come. Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Officer Gutierrez.
Good morning, Hillsborough County. Marty Gutierrez, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case was initiated in November 2022. It's owner occupied, is not a foreclosure, and is zoned RSC 9. The violations that we have are recreational utility vehicles, which is, wait, I apologize. Is that 3811? Yeah, 3811. Okay, I'm reading the correct one. I apologize. We had exceeds allowable number, the utility vehicles and recreation utility vehicles. And it's also lived in. We have recreation vehicles that are hooked up to utility and water, and they're being lived in, and there's quite a few of them there.
Okay, ma'am, how long will it take to remove these vehicles from the property?
Whatever you tell me, maybe a couple months.
And those appear to be operable? I mean, it looks from the condition that they're movable?
Oh, yeah, they are
Okay, all
movable.
right.
All the RVs
All
are.
right. And that's an unincorporated farm area, or is?
It's RSC 9.
Okay.
It's zoned RSC 9,
Okay.
residential area.
Okay. All right, ruling case number CE 220133811, that based on the incident, find the property in violation of Hillsborough County Court's test presentation, further based on the gravity of the latter violence history. I grant 60 days
Okay.
to comply that chief by date, a fine of $25 per day be assessed.
Okay.
So within 60 days, these, have him come out, they're gone, this goes away. If not, the fine start and the lien can be placed on your property.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Next case.
One more? Oh.
She has next one, okay.
That's it?
No, we have one more.
Oh, you have another one?
Yes, we do.
Oh, where is it?
It's for next
It's
case.
just 1, 2,
16.
should be the next one.
Page 8, item 16.
Oh, sorry. Okay, case number on page 8, item 16, case number CE 220133812, Betty Jean Dupree, Cherie Hess Dupree, and Johnny Bryant, the estate of Johnny Bryant Dupree, location 10324 Oak Avenue. We have service and someone is present, and just state your name and address for the record.
Cherie Dupree, 10324 Oak Avenue, Tampa, Florida, 33619.
And do you recognize that photo as the
Yes, I
property?
do.
Thank you.
Hillsborough County, Monty Gutierrez, Code Enforcement. This case also was initiated on November 2022. We have the same owner. It's zoned exactly the same, RSC 9. It's a different folio. We have the same issues. We have someone that's living in an RV, and we have excessive RVs on the lot.
Okay, my daughter, she's gonna move it out like ASAP. I think the 20th of this month.
Okay. And that's just that one on that property? Is that correct?
We have those two that we have
Right,
on the
okay.
photo, and then we have utility vehicles also in the next photo that was shown right there.
Okay. All right.
Do those have to be moved too?
You have more than one,
Okay. So the big one?
just with your choice,
Okay.
whichever one you want.
Only one?
Just one, yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So she put the other one on the other property, would that cure that?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. All right, same ruling, I'm moving case CE 22013812, that based on the independent find the property is a violation of physical course test presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation of history, I grant 60 days
Okay.
to come to compliance, if not completed, the fine of $25 per day be assessed. So both of these, same time limit, same fee,
Okay.
but they will scale up. So within that time frame, it means you need to get in touch with him,
Okay.
make sure he's out there within the 60 days, come out. If everything is cleared up, this goes away.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Next case.
We're done now, right? Okay. Next case is on page 9, item 19, case number CE 22-13943. Anisi Joseph and Rosanique Brinvert. Location 4403 Dolphin Drive. We have someone present. Good morning.
Good morning.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And please state your name and address for the record.
Wasnik Buenver Joseph, 4403 Dolphin Drive, Tampa, Florida, 33617.
Sir?
Hennessy Joseph, the same address, 4403 Dolphin Drive, Tampa, Florida, 33617.
7.
I got 6110.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Officer Messon.
Good morning, Officer Masson, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement, case number CE 2201-3943, 4403 Dolphin Drive, owned by, I apologize for butchering your name, Ansi Joseph and Rosanique Brinevet. Property zoned RSC 6 with 11 inspections. Property's not in foreclosure. My first inspection was back in November 2022. The violations are accumulations and roofs and parts thereof. I have spoke with the property owner one time, and I conducted my final inspection on the 4th of April.
How long will it take you to clear up these violations?
Unfortunately, we don't live in the house. We have somebody else living in the house. We never receive any notice. That's why this morning I update my address that we currently live and the phone number in case if anything. Is the last month we received that notice to be here today. That's why we're present. But we're already working with a firm that represents us with the insurance. We really have problem with them because I done couple work in the house. We don't have enough money to finish everything. We have a claim that's sustained. We have a letter that they gave me. I can present it to you. We just need a couple months to see what the insurance will do. We'll come in with the rest of the money to do the roof because we already do almost everything inside.
Okay, so that would take care of the roof. What about the accumulations? What,
That's I will talk to the person that living in the house. Myself, I was surprised when I went over there and see, no, this grace, I'm so sorry about that.
okay,
But that's been already moved.
Yes.
all right. Is the tenant cooperative with you?
Oh, yes.
Okay, all right,
yes.
good. That's, all right. I'm moving case CE 22013943 that based on the independent found the property is a violation of Hillsborough County Court test presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation of advice history. I grant 60 days to come to compliance with item number PM 12-1 accumulations. Find that you've identified of $50 per day. Regarding the roof, this is only because of the time we're coming into and contractors and the state of everything. I'm granting 210 days to come to compliance. If compliance is not achieved by date, a fine of $50 per day be assessed. So your roof, you have a little bit more time on. 210 days, 60 days for the accumulations. Within that time frame, both of those have code enforcement come out, they'll inspect it, it goes away. If not, they start to run. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Do you need the letter for this?
Yeah, you can. It'd be part of the record. That's fine.
Yes.
You can present it to Officer Sweeney. Would you take that for?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then you've got his contact information.
Please, if I can.
Officer Sweeney, could you? Masson, could you?
Officer Masson.
Officer Masson, would you mind? Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank
I'm not trying to help them. I'm thinking of contractors and whether it's not, I don't want them to. Next case.
Next case is on page 11, item 22, case number CE 220146555, Chabelle Holdings LLC, location 4908 East Hannah Avenue. We have service and someone is present. Sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
And please state your name and address for the record.
Is it Tony Shibano, 4908 East Hannah Avenue?
Can you spell your first name?
Is it Tony? EZZITOUNI.
T-O-N-I. Okay. Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
We're just waiting for the officer to start. Thank you, Officer Masson. You're up, sir. We're on case 220146555. That's your case.
Morning, Officer Chris Masson, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. Case number CE 2201-4655. Property is located at 4908 East Hannah Avenue and owned by Scheibel Holdings LLC. It's zoned RSC 9 with 9 inspections. Property is not in foreclosure and was first inspected December 12th, 2022. Currently has accumulations, overgrowth, and accessory use without a primary. I have talked to the property owner with my last inspection being April 4th when I took the pictures.
So I'm not showing the overgrowth on, because all we've got cited is the accessory use without primary use.
When I went back out there on April 4th, I recited it. Well, I opened up the overgrowth because it was mowed one time and now it's overgrowth has come
So
back.
That's not part of, would that be part of it now? It's not, okay, so we can't, all right. Sir, how long will it take, you heard that's not on the agenda yet, but the overgrowth, how long will it take for that and to cure the accessory use?
Yeah, I got the permit for the new construction. It's gonna be done by, demo the building by next month.
Okay. Is everybody living in there or?
No, no.
Okay, okay,
I bought it with that building.
okay. So you're just gonna,
Demolition
Okay,
and
okay.
build new house.
all right. All right, so we're not citing the overgrowth, but I advise you when it comes up there, it'd probably be a good idea to take care of that during this timeframe. I rule in case CE 220146555 that based on the incident find the property in violation of Hillsborough County Code status presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation of the violation history. I grant 60 days to come to compliance, and compliance not achieved by date, a fine of $50 per day be assessed. So you've got 60 days.
Okay.
Within that time frame, this goes away, contact him, he can come out there and close it. Otherwise, the fines will start at $50 per day.
I'm sorry, even I have the building permit, I still have to have, because,
Well, right now, we've got the accessory use, that's right now there, so it's got to be, you said you were going to demolish it, or what's going to go?
yes,
Start, okay.
I do have the permit.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
I was under the impression that it was being sold. I actually ran across it on Facebook Marketplace
Okay.
as for sale.
So being demoed is the first I've heard of it. So I don't know if I'm a little confused if he's selling it or if he's demoing it.
Yeah, I was under the impression, are you demo it or are
Yeah, I try to sell it first. If someone can remove it with no
right
spending that money. And if I don't sell it, I will demolish it.
Okay, so but you've got 60 days.
But I have the permit for new construction.
That's fine, but it's still, it's got to be taken care of either. Either that goes through the process, which is going to take longer than 60 days, or it gets demolished, but it's got to go. You $60, 60 days, $50 per day.
Okay.
Within that time frame, you got to contact him. He'll come out and take a look. It goes away. Otherwise, the fines start.
No problem.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next case.
Next case is on page 11, item 23, case number CE 22009371, Sharon A. Barile and Alexander A. Barile. The location is a vacant lot at the end of Douglas Lane, south of 11702 Douglas Lane. We have service and someone is present virtually. Sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
State your name and address for the record.
Alexander Borelli, 11701 Douglas Lane, Sefner, Florida.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
I do.
Thank you.
Officer Harwell.
Good morning, Charles Harwell, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case originated on August 1st of 2022. It's, you can see a vacant lot, it's zoned RSC4, and it's not a foreclosure. There's no life safety issues. You see where it's at, Douglas Lane. The violations cited were overgrowth and accessory without primary use. The last visit, the overgrowth was been mowed. As you can see, it was pretty high. It was in shoulder width and height, hip high in most locations on the property. They have since removed that utility trailer on the left of the accessory structure. So the accessory structure is the only thing remaining. So the violations, accessory without primary, they need to have a primary inlet in order to have accessory use.
Okay. Sir, how long will it take to remove that?
Well, we're in the process of applying for a building permit. That's why we got it mowed down. Everything's gone. The trailer's gone. It's cleared out all the way to the fence line on all the way around. It's almost an acre. The neighbor on the right-hand side, he's actually got some things in that shed as well. I've got tools and some building materials in there. And, do whatever I have to do to put this to bed. I even talked about putting it on his property. And then I could work out of that, but whatever I need to do,
All right, so I just, for clarification with the permit, are we going to demolish it or what there's a permit for?
Well, for building
Okay.
a new home, new construction.
Okay, all right, great.
And we're planning on starting that within the next 90 days, so.
All right. And just, nobody's living in an accessory use structure, correct?
No, it's
not being
just
lived in?
tools.
Just want to make sure.
Just tools,
Okay.
yeah, it's just got tools.
All
and
right,
building.
it's going to be a two-part ruling. I move in case CE 22009371 that based on find the property in violation of Hillsborough County Code status presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation advised history. I grant 7 days to come to compliance with item number 12-2 overgrowth. Compliance not achieved by date of fine of $50 per day. As far as item number Z205, accessory use without primary use, I'm granting 180 days to come to compliance, and compliance not achieved by date, a fine of $25 per day be assessed. So in this case, within the 7 days, Officer Harwell needs to come out and confirm that the overgrowth is gone, this goes away. Then you have 180 days before the other fine starts.
Yeah, the
Okay.
overgrowth has already been taken care of.
That's fine, but
that's
he still needs to come out, and because of the extent of it, that's why I put the fine on there. He comes out, it's gone, this goes away. But the other one remains. You've got 180 days, $25 per day for the accessory use. So
10-4. Can I move it over to my neighbor's property, and is that a?
yeah, you can do that, whatever it takes.
Yeah, I mean,
But just, you need to contact them and stay in contact with, it's your responsibility to make sure that he comes out, takes a look at, and if these are both cleared up, these go away, and then just maintain that property, no overgrowth.
Gotcha.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Next
sir.
case.
Thank you.
Next case is on page 12, item 25, case number CE 2201368, Juan E. Matias Santiago. The location is 1301 Victoria Street. We have service and someone is present. Good morning.
Good morning.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Your name and address, please?
Juan Santiago, Matias, 131 Victoria Street, Brandon, Florida, 33615.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Officer Harwell.
Good morning, Charles Harwell, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case originated November 15th of last year. It's owner occupied. The home is RC6. It's not in foreclosure and there's no life safety issues. The violations cited are accumulations. There were several violations cited, but the ones remaining are accumulations, inoperable vehicles, exterior walls, roofs and parts thereof. And then I complied with the outside open storage for the last few days. So that was just all intents and purposes compliance. So as you can see, that vehicle right there is not registered. The van that was in the previous picture, the property owner has stated it doesn't, is not registered. The Hummer has a flat tire, passenger side. And then the other violations are, it's the left side of the home, so there's an extension or something there, it's partly demolished. But on the right side, you see the corners of the roofs as well. Part of the violations. So you got on both sides for the roofs. The exterior walls are on the left side, that extension.
Sir, how long will it take to clear up these violations?
I hope you can give me like 90 days or 6 months. I need to do it by myself.
Okay. So we have a two-part motion. I'm moving case CE 2201368. The based on the representative found the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Court's test presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation history. I grant 15 days to come to compliance with item number 1, accumulations, fences, and operative vehicles. 15 days, compliance achieved by date of fine of $30 per day be assessed. The rest of the exterior walls, roofs and parts thereof, windows and treatment, and recreational vehicles, I'm granting 180 days to come to compliance with compliance achieved by date of fine of $50 per day be assessed. So two-part motion, accumulations, and fences and inoperative vehicles, you've got 15 days, $30 per day if they're not cleaned up. The rest of the, obviously the roof's going to take some time and the windows, I'm giving you 180 days. Compliance not achieved, $50 per day.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
you need to get his contact information and you need to contact him within that time frame to have him come out and take a look at it so these violations go away.
Thank you.
All right, next case.
Next case is on page 14, item 27, case number CE 23003254. Arthur Lee Ingram and Beulah E. Ingram Trust. The location is 1838 Norman Ingram Avenue. We have service and someone is present virtually. Ma'am, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Please state your name and address for the record. If you can raise your volume.
How is that?
That's perfect. Your name and
Okay.
address?
Precious Laquette, 1838 Norman Ingram Ave, Plant City, Florida, 33566.
And what is your relationship to this case?
Property management. Manager.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Officer Harwell.
Good morning, Charles Harwell, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case originated March 21st of this year. The property is owned AS1. It's tenant occupied, several mobile homes.
Excuse me, is your mic on?
Yes, my
No,
mic is on.
guess not. All right, sorry.
Okay.
All right, good morning, Charles Harwell, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case originated March 21st of this year. The property is zoned to AS1. It's tenant occupied with several mobile homes. It's not in foreclosure and there's several life safety issues. The violations cited are accumulations. I'll go through them real fast and we'll come back and speak to them. Accumulations, overgrowth, nuisance conditions, inoperable vehicles, handrails, exterior light fixtures, connection to drainage systems, exterior walls, decorative features, stairs, porches, and appurtenances, windows and exterior doors, general means of escape, outside open storage, and improper mobile home installations. So as you flip through the photos, I got some notes, accumulations speak for themselves. Several trailers have numbers, others are not numbered, so I refer to them as the small yellow, large yellow, and a white trailer, right? So this right here is, there's a nuisance odor of septic issues, if you could see there. It has something to do with the septic system. It's right behind 1848. We can just go to the next picture. There was a sewer cap missing from the drainage system and sewage was spilled on the ground. There's a lot of small children running around playing in this area. This particular drain, that was a dishwasher a washing machine that drains out into a ditch. So gray water's not supposed to do that. If you'd go back to that next on the door, this is some MacGyver stuff here. If you back up, look at the hinges on that door. It's like light fixture or electrical outlet covers that he's using. And believe it or not, it works. I was impressed when he came outside and that door swung open just like a normal door. The maintenance guy lives in there. Notice there's a clasp, a lock on there, so you can secure that door from the outside. The other door, you can see at the left corner of the picture, also has one. There's no stairs at the other one. So you could secure this guy in there and he could never get out in case of a fire. So there's broken windows, there's doors on mobile homes that don't have stairs. There's stairs that have 4 risers that don't have handrails on either side, or maybe one side, you can see here. It's just, and then there's the one trailer it's not tied down. I didn't go underneath every trailer to confirm that they are properly secured to the ground for mobile home installation. But again, there's another clasp there. There's just stuff everywhere. And there's the sewer was on the ground. The odor was intensive. And there's kids running all around this trailer. And then, that tie down is not connected. The decorative features are the skirting around the trailers. Some of them have them, most of them it's all damaged. If you got it, it's got to be maintained. So if you go back to that next picture, some of the windows are blocked by plywood on the inside. So it's like they remodeled these trailers, made rooms. It appears from the outside. I didn't go inside, but that's a piece of plywood blocking that window. It's one thing to have a air-conditioned window shaker, as they call them, in a window. You can always toss that out the window and climb out. But if it's the window's blocked by wood, that's your secondary means of escape. Your primary means is the door. So, and some of the windows are closed or damaged. You really got to see it in person to appreciate it. It's pretty bad.
And it is occupied?
Every one of them.
Okay. All right. Ma'am, how long is it going to take to clear up these violations?
I'm thinking maybe 6 months. I was unaware that any of this was going on. I know that's not an excuse, but when these tenants do move in, we do refurbish everything. So how they live is kind of like, they kind of do their own thing. And again, that's no excuse. I had no idea this was like that. But I'm thinking maybe 6 months.
Okay, and you're able to get into the unit, is that correct? Have you had any problem getting into the units?
Some of them I've tried to call since the code enforcement has come out. They're not picking up the phone. But I'm pretty sure I can make a trip down there and get inside if I need to.
Okay, and you're the property manager, correct? Is the owner?
Yes, we
You're
have.
not the owner.
That last picture, we have already gotten rid of all the trash, the accumulation as far as in the overgrowth. But right now we're in the process of getting the cars that don't have tags off. I let them know that they either have to get a tag or it has to be removed. but I am 100% sure that all the trash is gone.
And you're in contact with the owner, and the owner is going to fund it to get this taken care of, correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I want to go through this because it's going to be a couple-part motion. Officer Harwell, would you run down the line, the life safety issues, to make sure I get these right?
It's going to be we'll go to the means of escape.
Okay,
So that's going to be the stairs and
Right.
stuff. And then the secondary means is going to be the windows
Okay.
that are boarded up.
all right.
Yes.
Drainage systems?
Yeah, the sewer system, the cap, it
Okay.
needs to be replaced. Obviously, there's a drainage issue for them to pull the cap off to allow it to spew
Okay.
out in the road. And then there's kids running around
Right,
there
right,
too.
no.
So those would be
And the light issue and the nuisance condition, the sewage, okay.
there's the odor,
Right.
right? So those things I just.
Those are the
mentioned.
ones that are, all right. So
Yes,
ma'am, this will be a two-part motion. A rule in case CE 23003254, that based on the incident, find the property in violation of Hillsborough County Court staff's presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation by its history. For items number PM 12-3-A nuisance conditions, item number R11-4-5 exterior light fixtures, item number RLL-6-1A sewage cleanout, item number RLL-6-4 connection to drainage systems, item number RLL-9-1 general means of escape required, and then item number RLL-9-2 means of escape. I grant 7 days to come to compliance with those because they're life safety issues. Compliance not achieved by date, a fine of $200 per day be assessed. Regarding the rest of the items, the accumulations, the overgrowth, inoperative vehicles, handrails, exterior walls, decorative stairs, porches, windows and exterior doors, and outside open storage. I'm granting 30 days to compliance achieved by date, a fine of $100 per day be assessed. So two-part motion. The first ones, ma'am, are life safety issues. That's why the leash is short, 7 days, $200 per day. The rest of the items, you've got 30 days to come to compliance. Compliance not achieved by date, a fine of $100 per day be assessed. In both those cases, when those items are complied with, you need to contact Officer Harwell. He needs to come out and verify that they're taken care of. If they're not verified and he has not come out there, the fines start to run and a lien could be placed on your property.
Okay.
They're the property owners, so this needs to be communicated to them.
For the 7 days, that is the $200 fine after the 7 days?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. That's the nuisance conditions with the sewage, exterior light fixtures, sewage cleanout, the connection to the drainage system, general means of escape, and means of escape. Those are life safety issues. We can't stand by and allow those to continue. So I'm giving you 7 days on those items. The rest of the items, I'm giving you 30 days and $100 per day once that 30-day passes and they're not taken care of.
Gotcha. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a good.
You've got his contact information, Officer Harwell.
I do, yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Next case,
welcome.
please.
Thank you.
Page 17, item 30, case number CE 220137175, Pacifica Bayou LLC, location 10305 Zachary Circle. We have services. Someone is present. Good morning.
Good morning.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
And please state your name and address for the record.
Luis Garcia, my address 4813 Old Village Way, Osmar, 34677.
And your relationship to this case?
Supervisor for the property.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Officer Parker.
Good morning, Officer Kevin Parker, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. We received a complaint at the property for accumulations on November 2nd of 2022. This case was cited as a repeat violator due to previous case CE 2008149. It's violating a board order date, excuse me, dated 08/21 of 2020. They currently owe $132,500 in fines from the previous fine run case for accumulations. It was in fine run status for 530 days. Currently, this is the condition of the property on my last inspection. I actually was there yesterday, and a lot of these accumulations do remain around the property. There were 11 different complaints during the course of this case where people complained about accumulations throughout the property again.
And you mentioned there was a previous case on this. Was that complied with or not?
Yes, it was complied, but it was in final run status for 530 days, and there's still currently $132,500 in fines still owed on the property for the same condition that has been repeated.
Okay. And is a lien filed on the property? Sir, how long will it take to clean up the accumulations?
We already did the whole entire lake day before yesterday. We have the picture here for yesterday to the dumpster area all clean out too. The problem I have, the people coming from outside and dump the trash overnight. So when we come back the next day, it's all furniture and stuff like that. We have two different company, Waste Management coming 2 times a week. And we have another one, they coming with a trailer 2 times a week now, just picking up and cleaning up all these areas. I have the picture here from the day from yesterday too.
Okay, yeah, we can take that. That'll be part of the record. So this be considered a repeat violation?
What we're going to do is rule as a repeat violator, and once compliance is met, we're going to go for a per occurrence.
Okay. All right. I will need the order date of, and the order.
The order date is, it's on there, right here.
Okay, beautiful. Yes, all right. Okay, I rule in case CE 220131755 that based on the evidence identified on the property is again in violation of Hillsborough County Coroner's test presentation in the previous order dated 8/21 of 6/21, 8/21 of 2020. This constitutes a repeat violation as defined in Florida statutes. Further, I grant 3 days to come to compliance. Have complied with achieved by date, a fine of $1,000 per day be assessed. Additionally, a fine of $100 per day per occurrence be imposed for any repeat violations after compliance is achieved. So there's 3 days, which means he needs to come out within 3 days. If everything's cleared up, this goes away. Otherwise, the fine starts at $1,000 per day. In addition, the fine of $100 per day per occurrence be imposed for any repeat violations in the future on this. Okay?
Yeah.
So you need to contact him. He needs to come out pretty much immediately. Next case.
Next case is item 31, case number CE 220131188, Pacifica Bayou LLC. Location is 10305 Zachary Circle. I guess where the violation is 10314 Zachary Circle, apartment 121. We have service and someone is present. And just state your name and address for the record.
Yeah, Luis Garcia, my address 4813 Old Village Way, Osmar, Florida, 34677.
And do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Officer Parker.
Good morning, Officer Kevin Parker, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. Code Enforcement received a complaint on November 2nd of 2022 at 10305 Zachary Circle, apartment 121. It was cited for the water heater facility not working properly because there's no hot water in the apartment, sink and base cabinets, infestation of interior spaces, interior floors and walls, because there were depressions in the floor as you walk through the apartment. There were also plumbing leaks and defects. The toilet is not mounted properly, so you can move it and it leaks. That dishwasher is not functioning as well. These pictures were taken at the initiation of the case. I've only been in contact with the complainant twice. When I go there, she really doesn't answer the door, so I don't know what the status is of these current violations, but we'll wait for their answer at this point.
But you initially were able to get with a previous tenant or somebody else to get the pictures? Is that
Yes.
correct, sir? Okay.
I've been in the apartment twice.
Okay.
Yes, I have it here, 7-day notices to comply from yesterday for 7 days for the resident. Sheena allowed to us to get inside. She have a big mess. She told them that she had to pick up and get a distance so we can go in. But she not answered, she not responding. So from yesterday, we had the 7 day notices to she comply. If now we go to the legal process.
Okay.
If you need a paper too, this is a copy, you can have it.
Yeah, that'll be helpful. Officer Parker, with that being the case, what would you support?
This case has been going on for 4 months. They've known about this. They've received the notice of violations. We shouldn't have to wait till the code board for them to try to access the problem and access the property and fix it.
Okay.
I just went there the other day and she opened the door and the kids and she slammed the door back and she locked it. She knew when I talked to us and nothing.
All right. Ruling case CE 22013-188, the based on the presented find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Court's test presentation. Further, based on the advised history, I grant 30 days to come to compliance. If compliant not achieved by date, a fine of $1,000 per day be assessed. 30 days. 30 days. So within 30 days, it's got to be done. Otherwise, the fines start.
Yeah, I just, yeah, we just follow on the process. So.
Next case.
Next case is on page 18, item 32, case number CE 220132292, Pacifica Bayou LLC, location 10305 Zachary Circle. The location of violation is 10410 Zachary Circle, apartment 29. We have service and someone is present. And again, just state your name and address for the record.
Luis 13 Old Village Way, Osmar, Florida 34677.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Officer Parker.
Good morning, Officer Kevin Parker, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case was started November 4th of 2022. There were 6 site visits. It was cited for interior floors and walls, interior surfaces, kitchen and sink-based cabinets, and AC inoperative and plumbing leaks and defects. It was initially cited for more items, but those items were complied. So it's only 3 items that remain and to be repaired at this point.
Okay, sir, how long will it take to get those items taken care of?
What was the 3 items with pending still?
Interior surfaces, interior floors and walls, and organic growth and inoperative AC.
Okay, yeah, we already comply with that stuff. You can inspect it.
Okay.
So from what you see in those pictures, there's no organic growth or anything in the AC at this point. You're saying all that stuff is.
Yeah, we went over there, we cleaned it out.
Okay.
All right. Ruling case CE 22013-292, the based on the present find the property in violation of Hillsborough County Court's test presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation history, I grant 7 days to come to compliance. Achieved by date, a fine of $200 per day be assessed. For that time frame, he needs to come out and inspect it. Next case.
Item 33, case number CE 220135570, Pacifica Bayou LLC, location 10305 Zachary Circle. The location of the violation is 10323 Zachary Circle, apartment 197. We have service and someone is present. And again, name and address, please.
Luis Garcia, 4813 Old Village Way, Osmar, Florida 34677.
Officer Parker.
Good morning, Officer Parker, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case was started November 14th of 2022. There were 7 site visits, and the remaining items are nuisance conditions for odors, inoperative air conditioners, interior surfaces, and interior light fixtures.
How long will it take to clean these?
We have a complaint already.
They're all compliant?
Mhm.
All right. Okay, I rule in case CE 22013570 that based on the independent find the property in violation of Hillsborough County Court test presentation, further based on the grant of the last history, I grant 7 days to come to compliance. Compliance that you've identified of $200 per day be assessed. So again, within that time, he needs to come out.
Inspector.
Page 19, item 34, case number CE 2201459, Pacifica Bayou LLC, 10305 Zachary Circle. The location of the violation is 10322 Zachary Circle, apartment 175. We have service. Sir, name and address, please.
Luis Garcia, 4813 Old Village Way, Osmar, Florida, 34677.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Officer Parker.
Good morning, Officer Kevin Parker, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case was started on December 8th of 2022. They were cited for interior surfaces, which is the bathtub. They were cited also for the air conditioner being inoperative. You have both bathtubs in the apartment have peeling, it needs to be resurfaced and have peeling paint. You have cracks and discoloration in the ceiling and for the interior surfaces. It was cited for other things, but those things have been repaired. Those are the only 3 remaining problems at this point. As you can see, all that organic growth and the way it was fixed with tying it with the shoestring, I don't think that's in a workmanship-like manner as well.
How long will it take, sir, to clean up?
This done already too. We got a new installation in the AC, microwave, everything in there.
Okay. I rule in case CE 2201459 that based on the independent found the property in violation of Hillsborough County Court test presentation, further based on the grant of the history, I grant 7 days to come to compliance. Compliance to be identified $200 per day be assessed. Next case.
Item 35, case number CE 2201464, Pacifica Bayou LLC, location 10305 Zachary Circle. The location of the violation is 10410 Zachary Circle, apartment 39. We have service. Sir, name and address.
Luis Garcia, 4813 Old Village Way, Osmar, Florida, 34677.
Do you recognize that photo as the property? Sorry.
Officer Parker.
Hillsborough County Code Enforcement Officer Kevin Parker. This case was started on December 13th of 2022. There were 5 site visits. It's initially cited for receptacles, but it should have been electrical wiring for multiple sockets being worn out in the apartment. When you plug something in, it falls out. You have interior surfaces. As you can see, the ceiling had leaks, it's discolored. You have plumbing leaks where the bathroom toilet leaks, it's not mounted properly. You have multiple interior surfaces. The sink and base cabinet has a hole in the bottom and they just covered that with shelf paper and called that repaired. You have infestation of interior spaces as well for roach infestation.
Sir, how long will it take to clean up these?
It's done too.
All right. Rule in case CE 2201464 that based on the independent of the property in violation of Hillsborough County Court's test presentation, further based on the gravity of the violation history, I grant 7 days to come to compliance. Chief identified $200 per day to be assessed. There's quite a few. Obviously, the timelines are critical. He needs to be able to inspect it all. If he doesn't, it falls on you and the fines will start.
That's fine.
Okay. Next case.
Page 20, item 36, case number CE 220144746, Pacifica Bayou LLC, location 10305 Zachary Circle. The location of the violation is 10408 Zachary Circle, apartment 268. We have service. Someone is present. Name and address, please.
Luis Garcia, 4813 Old Village Way, Osmar, Florida, 34677.
Recognize that photo as the property?
ma'am.
Thank you.
Officer Parker.
Officer Kevin Parker, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case was started on December 14th. There were 6 site visits. was initially cited for light and ventilation in lavatories. The fans in the lavatories do not work. For interior surfaces, multiple surfaces in the apartment have holes or have organic growth in them. You have electrical wiring problem where you turn on the light in the actual kitchen and it trips the breaker. You have plumbing fixture defective, that toilet lid is broken and you can see what's going on inside there. It's not working properly. You have interior light fixtures not operating properly. You have plumbing leaks for that bathtub faucet. It's leaking and it's missing. You have sink and base cabinets are deteriorated and damaged. And there are multiple depressions in the floor and a severely water damaged carpet and missing smoke detectors.
Okay, in this case, we processed the eviction papers process because she not compliant to we go in, doesn't know and prove how the condition she had the apartment, everything everywhere. You have to walk to close, trash, everything. So she's in the process to eviction. So this is 268 paperwork.
All right.
So we gonna need, I know we just on the eviction, it's a process, at least 30 days to see what we get in 30 days. So if you have to come back and you ask for a little bit more time, it depends. I went the other day, she saw me, she screaming to me, I just walk out with my guys because I can. And she keep telling me, I'll keep calling for me, I don't care. And she said, I'm gonna keep going on, but.
You have started the eviction process?
Yes.
All right. I move case CE 22014-746, based on the violation of Hillsborough County Code of Presentation, further based on the ground of the advised history. I grant 60 days to come to compliance. Compliance need by date of fine of $100 per day be assessed. So obviously, if she's out.
That's what the turnover,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Next case.
He's done. That was
Thank
your,
you.
that was your.
Can I have your car, sir? Thank you.
Officer Parker, thanks for your help on that.
Go back to the beginning of the agenda, page 1, item 2, case number CE 2201495, Michael Allen Burdick and Brandon Joy Gallagher. Location is 500 Fairhope Drive. We have service and someone is present. Man, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, but you did say my name wrong. It's Braden.
Braden, sorry, I apologize. Please state your name and address for the record.
Braden Gallagher, 500 Fairhope Drive, Apollo Beach, Florida, 33572. Touch the microphone. Okay, didn't know I can move it. My bad. I don't do this often.
Picture up here sometime. We're waiting for the photo.
Okay. Usually fast.
I know. Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Officer Carter.
Good morning. Officer Guy Carter, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. I'm here today presenting case CE 22014965, located at 500 Fairhope Drive, Apollo Beach, Florida, 33572. The case was initiated by this reporting officer on December 20th, 2022. When on routine patrol, I observed a black Nissan parked in the driveway of 500 Fairhope Drive without a registration. Research revealed that the property was zoned RC6, not homesteaded. No current cases on file, no liens, no list pendants found. Photos were taken and uploaded into a case file. On January 5th, a reinspection found the Nissan still unregistered. A door hanger was left with instructions to register or remove the vehicle. I received a phone call from the property owner and I explained the nature of the violation and what needed to be done to gain compliance. The next reinspection on January 17th found the vehicle still unregistered and the case was was referred for a hearing. On March 8th, 2022, I responded to the location for an inspection and found that the Nissan had been removed, but a white BMW was observed parked in the driveway without a registration tag. On March 30th, I responded to the location to post a notice of hearing and found a Nissan parked in the rear yard facing the street, the white BMW still unregistered, and a third vehicle, a black Mercedes-Benz parked in the driveway with an expired registration tag, which leads us to today.
Ma'am, how long is it going to take to either register the vehicles or remove them from the property?
I don't know how to clearly answer that because I'm not driving those cars. But I actually didn't know. So I got in a car accident. The insurance went crazy. It's just my husband and I. So we figured let's save some money. Let's not spend all this crazy money if we're only driving one car, which is the Benz. And so, you know, we're new homeowners as well. We just bought this house. So we didn't know what was allowed and what was not allowed. So anyway, we sent back the tags because that's what they told us to do. So I don't know where to go from here as far as, I don't know how to answer that. I don't know what to do now.
Well, he was pretty clear about, they have to be the registered, operable vehicles registered, and there's no limit. Is that correct? They can have the cars without an issue. If they aren't registered, they can't be on the property. So there's two choices.
Okay, so my problem though is if I have a tag on it and I am not driving the car, it's on my property. Why does that mean I also have to have insurance on it? Because the whole point was that I'm not driving it to save money on my insurance and it's on my property. Is that what that means? I have to spend a lot of money on my insurance even though I don't drive the car?
My understanding of it is the insurance is not a venue that so that is a part of another department of the
I know
county.
that.
It's not our, it's not,
But
it's
it's
the
on my
state of Florida.
property
So
and
it's
I
not
don't
us.
drive the car.
So we're here for just one thing, and one thing alone. Either it gets registered, we're not checking the insurance, or it gets removed. There's two choices, but it has to happen.
So, okay, so this car is paid off. I'm not driving it. So you're saying if I don't put a tag on it and I don't spend a lot of money on insurance, even though I'm not driving the car, then I'm going to have to sell my car that I just paid off?
What he mentioned, the code is very clear. Do you want to just reinforce what?
Yes, once again, sir, I mean, it's just, like you said, it's kind of cut and dry, not trying to sound anything other than truthful. Has to be registered or removed.
So those are
from
the two.
property.
So time frame.
Well, I'm going to have to go and call my insurance company now because I just paid this car off, like literally this year. So, yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
All right.
I don't know.
Maybe if you could
Call them.
find a storage unit somewhere where you could store the vehicles. I mean, that's
I own
because
my
you don't have a
house.
garage. Normally, people put them in the garage. You don't have a garage. You only have the
Yeah.
carport. So if you can find a storage unit, that would probably be the only.
So, and this is, he mentions this is the first time, so I'm going to be lenient on this order. I rule in case CE 22014965, that based on the find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Court's test presentation, further based on the granted valid evidence history. I'm granting 60 days to come to compliance. If compliance is not achieved by a date, a fine of $15 per day be assessed. So you've got 60 days. Within that time frame, he needs to come out. They need to be gone. If they're gone, this goes away. If not, the fines start, and a lien could be put on your property. So you have 60 days to either register it or remove it.
Okay.
Okay? You need his contact information so that you can call him. He needs to inspect it. If he doesn't inspect it, then the violations start.
Okay, thank you.
Next case. 15. I mean, it's.
That concludes the people in the audience.
Do we still have more cases? We still have more cases.
Yes.
Okay. See, no one is present in the audience for the remaining case on the agenda. I will now review the case materials previously provided by county staff. And if I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Court's test presentation, my ruling in each case will be based on the evidence presented, on the gravity of the violation, the action of the violation, and the violation history, and determining the amount of the fine that will be assessed. First case.
Okay. Page 1, item 1, case number CE 22011600. This case complied on April 10th. Page 2, item 4, case number CE 22013398. This case was pulled per staff. Page 3, item 5, case number CE 22011238. Robert Dykus. The location is 1505 Pasadena Drive. We have service and no one is present.
Officer Jones.
Good morning, Officer Dave Jones, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement for case CE 22011238 at 1505 Pasadena Drive, Sefner, Florida 33584. First inspection was September 12th, 2022 for inoperable vehicles and accumulation outside overgrowth. After inspection, outside open storage, not overgrowth, was complied, but inoperable vehicles and accumulations remained as of March 29th, 2023. The 3 officers that have been on this case have all tried to make contact with the owner with no success. And that's where we stand right now.
So it is occupied?
It is occupied by the owner.
And there's no, it's not foreclosure?
No, sir.
All right.
And as far as the inoperable vehicles, this picture kind of doesn't do it justice. He has them lined almost like he's running a used car lot.
All right, and he's, we know that he's been served, correct? He's getting
Yes,
notices?
yes.
Okay.
I did not have to go and post it on the property.
All right, I move in case CE 22011238. Made a mistake on that standby. I grant 15 days to come to compliance, achieved by date of fine of $200 per day be assessed. 15 days, $200 per day.
Thank you.
Next case.
Item 6, case number CE 22012244. This case complied on April 13th. Page 6, item 11, case number CE 22013998, mobile home, MHC The Meadows at Countrywood LLC. The location is 5534 Peninsula Key. We have service and no one is present.
Officer Sweeney.
Code Enforcement Officer Dennis Sweeney, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This was actually missed earlier, along with the previous case we had against this mobile home park. Same situation. Complaint was received. A site visit was made on November 28, 2022. Seawalls were damaged. So the condition was cited for nuisance condition. As you're aware from the previous case, they are in the process of finalizing the work, completing the work. So we're just basically at the same stage as the other case.
And Sonia, that was, I gave 30 days, $100 per day, correct?
Correct.
All right. And that's what I'm giving now. I grant 30 days come for compliance, and compliance achieved by date of fine of $100 per day be assessed. And do me a favor, I'd like to make sure the counselor knows that this is on there. Not for her
Yes.
to be blindsided by this. Next case.
Page 7. Page 7, item 13, case number CE 21008963. This case was pulled per staff. Item 14, case number CE 22012763, Salim F. Khan. Location is 2810 Missouri Avenue. We have service and no one is present.
Officer Gutierrez.
Good morning, Hillsborough County. Monica Gutierrez. This case was initiated in October of 2022. And what we have is a vacant lot, which is overgrowth. No photos isn't up yet.
Have you been in contact with the owner?
No, sir, I have not. I actually had to post this property.
But are there complaints by other neighbors or?
We've had quite a few complaints on here.
It's first time with this property or is it?
Yes, sir.
Right. So we just need a picture. I'm shocked. You made a mistake. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. I don't like this one. I grant 7 days to come to compliance with that. You have a fine of $500 per day be assessed. Did you get their attention? Next case.
Page 8, item 17, case number CE 220144479, Ryan Kennedy. Location is 9722 East US Highway 92. We have service and no one is present.
Officer Gutierrez.
Good morning. I'm Monica Gutierrez, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case was initiated December of 2022. It is tenant occupied. It is a mobile home. The issues that we have here is accumulations, windows, exterior doors, and smoke detectors. I was never, ever inside. They never allowed me inside with consent, but it was admitted to me by not only the owner and the tenant that there are no smoke detectors. The windows have a wood placed in front of them. We have no ingress or egress there. They're taped.
So has the tenant allowed access to it or no?
He's never allowed me to go inside. Neither has the owner.
What do you guys think on time frame and fine?
No.
David Kanzler, Code Enforcement. I'd say a short amount of time, given that the owner and the tenant have both admitted there's
Okay.
no smoke detectors.
Yes.
All right, and it's life safety. All right,
Yes, sir.
I grant 7 days to come to compliance. Compliance, you've got to of $1,000 per day be assessed. And it's because of smoke detectors. It's a life safety issue I'm concerned about.
And the windows.
The means of escape. I mean, that's.
Yes.
I don't want someone. Next case.
Thank you.
Next case is on page 9, item 18, case number CE 220110705, Stephanie M. Bailey Irrevocable Trust, and Ashley Nichols. Location is 11650 County Road 579. We have service and no one is present.
Good morning, Officer Masson, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. Case number CE 2201-1705. Property is located at 11650 County Road 579 and owned by the Stephanie M. Bailey and Ashley Nichols Irrevocable Trust, zoned RSC 6 with 10 inspections, not in foreclosure, and was first inspected on 9/22/2022, and it's had multiple cases. The violations outstanding are accumulations, overgrowth, fences, screens, pool sanitation, and outside open storage. This is the neighborhood meth house with the part owner is the disabled sister across the street, and the family's been trying to get this lady to sign over the house so they can get it in compliance, but she refuses, and she says there's no vagrants that ever come through there, but every other day there's another person there, and the neighbors say at night there's 100 people walking through. So it's a mess. It's in better shape than it was originally, but it's still a mess. The pool is about a third way full. She won't let me on the property to get a good picture of it, but she has admitted that, well, it's just got a little bit of water in it. So I expected her to be here per her conversation, but I guess she had other things to do. Yeah, there's no power there. They're running a generator.
All right.
It's a mess.
All right. I grant 7 days to come to compliance. If not, we have a day fine of $1,000 per day be assessed. Next case.
Page 10, item 20, case number CE 220149091, RMF Bud Out Acquisition Trust, 2021-HB1. Location is 4506 Dolphin Drive. We have service and no one is present.
Officer Chris Masson, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement, case number CE 2201-4091. Location is 4506 Dolphin Drive, RMF Buyout Acquisitions Trust, 2021, Hotel Bravo 1, zoned RSC 6 with 13 inspections. This property is not in foreclosure and was first inspected on November 29, 2022. The violations are fences, exterior light fixtures, and windows and exterior doors. I have not talked to the owner, but I have talked to the individuals who are squatting in there. My final inspection was on April 4th, and it's a high area for deputies. The cops are called all the time. A lot of issues going on there.
I grant 7 days to come to compliance. If not compliant, that you have a day fine of $1,000 per day be assessed. Next case.
Item 21, case number CE 220144425, Antonio P., don't know how to say that, Ganog and Anita C. Ganog. We have service and no one is present.
Chris Madison, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement, CE 2201-4425, 4406 Tuna Drive, Antonio and Anita Going. Zoned RSC 6 with 7 inspections. Property's not in foreclosure. First inspected December 6, 2022. Overgrowth. I've never gotten contact with the owner. The property, I don't know if it's abandoned or not.
Are
I've never
taxes
seen a
up to
car
date?
there or anything.
Are taxes is in foreclosure?
It's
Somebody
not-
living there?
It's not in foreclosure, no.
And somebody living there? You
I
don't know?
can't tell. I've never seen a vehicle. I thought I heard somebody inside in one visit when I was knocking on the door, but they avoided me like the plague.
All right, 7 days and $200 per day. Next case.
Page 12, item 24, case number CE 220-12688, Bobby Brown. Location is 402 Blueberry Lane. We have service and no one is present.
Officer Harwell.
Good morning, Officer Harwell, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case originated October of this year. It's owner occupied, zoning is RSC 6. It's not in foreclosure, and we've had a history with this property. We have several violations cited. Accumulations, which is a repeat violator for an order date of 10/16/2020, case CE 2000-5075. Then I have fences. We got screens, windows, exterior doors, which is a repeat violator, the same order date, and outside open storage with the same order date. Once the fines reached $100,000, I took him before Judge Smith, Honorable Judge Smith, and the judge asked us to help him out because he has no means to comply the violations. So the county removed a ton, almost 2 tons of accumulations from this property. He took it, we had required him to put it in the right of way, and then we removed it from the right of way. So, and he's been given forewarning about this. We went above and beyond to help him. We can't afford to, taxpayers paid for this
Right,
once.
no,
We
I-
can't do it twice. I warned him, and here we are again.
And that's the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, we get complaints.
All right, that's fine. Grant 7 days to come to compliance, cheap a day of $1,000 per day. Next case.
Page 13, item 26, case number CE 23003243. The 6021 Land Trust, location is 6021 Pine Street. We have service and no one is present.
Officer Harwell.
Good morning, Officer Harwell, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case started March 21st. It is tenant occupied. The zoning is AI, not in foreclosure. No life safety issues. There were several violations cited. The windows and exterior doors, that was complied here before the hearing. The only 2 violations remaining is the nuisance condition for the odor of sewage and the general plumbing requirements. The sink doesn't drain. It takes for hours. Toilets don't flush. I don't know what's going on, but I did another combo notice and they complied those violations prior to that hearing, and this is the second one for different violations. So we're constantly going back there, but I'm not sure what's going on.
Is this a tenant or is this the owner in there?
Tenant occupied. I issued the combo notice to the maintenance guy, and he said he was going to pass it on, and the violations got complied. The septic issue, they've been going back and forth according to the tenant, working on these septic issues. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's an ongoing issue.
All right, 7 days, $200 per day.
Page 15, item 28, case number CE 23003445. This case was pulled for staff. Page 16, item 29, case number CE 23003503. A.L. Ingram. The location is lot with 4 mobile homes adjacent to 1904 Norman Ingram Avenue. We have service and no one is present.
Good morning, Charles Harwell, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This is similar to the case that Precious was here, right? There's like 4 folios in line from Smith Worrells Road, all owned by the same family, same last name, just various family members on it. As you can see there, it shares a common driveway with the folio on the left. I also have a case on that property, but it's minor. And the previous case is the one on the very extreme left when you had Precious here. So similar violations, accumulations, overgrowth, fences, inoperable vehicles, protective treatment,
exterior light fixtures, electrical wiring, exterior walls, decorative features, windows and exterior doors, means of escape, general means of escape, outside open storage, improper mobile home installation, connection to drainage systems. You know, the fence is leaning, the posts are broken. That's the reason it's.
It's occupied by somebody.
Tenants. Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
And the thing of it is that I issued both combo notices to the maintenance individual that lives in the McGuire trailer. And he says he's in contact with both property owners. And and he was going to pass them on, which he did. Precious called me within 3 or 4 days. And I haven't had any contact with the owner here, but they're all sisters. This trailer here is not occupied. It's the only one that's not occupied.
And normally I do a couple motion, I do a couple part motion for this, but I'm just going to do one, especially with the life safety issue, 7 days, $1,000 per day. Next case.
Page 21, item 37, case number CE 23002-845. Let me call that again. Item 37, case number CE 23002-845. This case complied as of April 5th. And that concludes the agenda. We just have the minutes for approval.
Yeah, and I approve the minutes, the last meeting, February 10th of 2023. Meeting adjourned. Thank you for all your help, gentlemen and ladies.
Stop the recording.
Are we off the recording? Off the recording? Make sure to let me know before I open my mouth.